Hello, in today's video we got this 2013 Hyundai Elantra with really bad steering shake when you're braking, which I just happened to make a video about last week, so similar to that one, we'll be replacing the front brakes and rotors. Our first step after removing the lug nut cover is to use a 21mm socket to loosen all 5 lug nuts about half a turn, so they'll be loose when we lift the wheel off the ground. We can now position our jack to lift it from the pinch weld, which will want to position the cup in the middle of these two notched areas, lifting it high enough so the wheel comes off the ground. Once it's high enough, you'll want to place a jack stand underneath. With the wheel off the ground, we can begin removing the lug nuts. After removing all 5 lug nuts, you'll want to remove the wheel. By the looks of it, the surface on this rotor has really bad discoloration and definitely looks like it's had some brake heat issues. Now to remove the 2 caliper bolts, we'll need a 14mm socket. You'll want to loosen them by turning them counterclockwise. Once you get them loose, they can be removed by hand. With the bolts removed, we can slide off the caliper. I hang it on the strut, but you want to be careful it doesn't slide off. Let's also go ahead and remove the brake pads. To remove the brake caliper bracket, we'll need a 17mm socket. I also use an adapter to adapt it to my 1/2 inch ratchet for more leverage. Loosening these by rotating them counterclockwise, and once they're loose, they should be able to be removed by hand. Holding up the bracket as you remove the bolts. With the bolts removed, we can slide off the bracket. This rotor is now being held on by 2 screws, which we can use a number 3 tip Phillips head screwdriver to remove them. After removing the screws, hopefully the rotor just comes off, but if not, like in this case, we'll need to reinstall the lug nuts. Doing this will protect the threads as we hit the rotor with a hammer around the middle, breaking free of any rust holding it in place from the hub. And for this, you'll want to use a hammer with some heft to it. In this case, I'm using a 3-pound sledge. I start off by giving it a few light taps, and if that doesn't work, a couple harder hits should break it free. Once you break it free, remove the lug nuts followed by the rotor. And with the rotor off, you can see just how bad the surface looks. You definitely wouldn't want to reuse this rotor. Now to prepare our new rotors, we'll want to spray the surface with brake cleaner and wipe it down with a clean towel. This will remove the rust protective coating used on the surface to keep it from rusting. If it's left on, it will contaminate your new brake pads and affect your braking. You'll also want to flip it over and repeat on the other side. Let's now prepare our brake pads for install. For this we'll need some disc brake lubricant and using some old brake pads as a reference for the contact points. For the outer brake pad, you'll want to lubricate where the caliper fingers press against the brake pad. Now for the inner brake pad, you'll want to lubricate where the caliper piston presses on the brake pad. Let's now replace our brake pad retaining clips on the caliper bracket. These should be included with your ceramic brake pads, if not they can be purchased separately. To remove them, just pull them up and off the bracket. To install the new ones, line up the middle and the rest should line up, then push them down. And do the same for the other. Now to lubricate these guide pins. Doing this will help avoid uneven brake wear because the smoother the guide pins move, the more evenly the brake caliper pressure will be distributed on the brake pads. Once you get it off, just clean off the guide pin. I use a blue shop towel, but if it's really dirty, you can use some brake cleaner spray. Once it's clean, add some brake lubricant and wipe it on evenly. Once properly lubricated, reinstall the guide pin and make sure that you get the seal in all around. Then continue on to the other guide pin. We'll now want to lubricate the brake pad slide points on these brake pad retainers. Just the areas where the brake pad will contact, and you don't want to add too much, just a small amount. Doing this will help your brake pads move smoothly, wear evenly, and prevent those squealy brakes when you're coming to a slow stop. And now do the same on the other brake pad retainer. And this is what your setup should look like at this point. Let's now go ahead and install our new rotor and the two retaining screws. When tightening these, you'll want to alternate tightening the screws so the rotor goes in evenly. You don't want to tighten these that hard, if not the next time you want to remove them, they may not want to come off. Followed by installing the bracket with the two bolts as far as you can get them by hand. And now we'll tighten and torque them down to spec. We're now ready to install the brake pads. For the inner brake pad, you'll want this brake wear indicator up so it'll be supported by the brake pad backing, so it doesn't just break off as you drive forward. Now to install our outer brake pad, which we lubricated with the two caliper finger contact points. Let's now compress the brake caliper to accommodate for the new brake pads using an old brake pad and a brake spreader. This tool pushes against the old brake pad to compress the piston in, but you'll also want to make sure that there's space in the brake fluid reservoir for the fluid that will be pushed back up, or keep an eye on it so it doesn't overfill. Now to install a brake caliper. Just slide it over the brake pads and push the guide pins in if you have to. Then reinstall the two caliper bolts by hand till they bottom out. Now we can use a ratchet to tighten them and or torque them to spec. Now that the brakes are assembled, I like to pump the brakes a few times because this step is so important you don't want to forget to do this before driving off. This will seat your brake caliper piston up against the brake pads, removing any extra space from when we compress the piston. Now finally we can install the wheel, followed by the lug nuts. And snug them up before lowering the car. Now with the car on the ground, we can torque them to spec in a star pattern. And lastly, reinstall the cover. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If so, please click that thumbs up button to support my video and my channel. And please subscribe if you haven't done so.